Yeah, again, good afternoon, colleagues. Just we will wait for a few minutes so others can join us. And please let me know if you able to see my screen. Thank you. I'm seeing someone raising his hand. It's Mr. Ismail. I think you can write in the chat if there is anything. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Ismail. Okay, so while we are waiting for other colleagues to join us, appreciate scanning the QR code or just typing ahaslide.com SI9B4 to join me in my presentation. It will be appreciated. I'll make a copy and put it in the chat also to make it easy for you. Thank you, Shamla. So we'll give it just 2 minutes and then we'll start. Just to allow other colleagues to join us also. Today, our presentation will be about engaging and empowering diverse learners. And I believe this is an important topic since we are now looking at talking about global education and empowering the teachers and the educators to deal with diverse group of students. And also we are also looking for adopting the inclusive education policies, which is part of that is dealing with the diverse group of students. We'll talk about the definition of diversity, definition of inclusion, which is sometimes one difference between both of them. It's good to have a diverse group, but without having a proper inclusion for that diverse group, I think our diversity will be meaningless. So we'll talk about this also in detail, and then we'll give few strategies. I'm sure majority of you are familiar with such of those strategies, but we'll give some examples about it. And please share your feedback or comment on the chats. And there is a Q&A button that you can use for asking any question. I'll try my best to shift between the presentation and the chat and the Q&A to cover the three areas. So I think let us start. So also I don't want you to be waiting for a long time, but again, appreciate if you can join us on the AHA slide. AHA slide is one of the tools that I like. I worked with it several times. It's for engaging students, and it's really an effective one for engaging. And always they are updating their services and their features. Now they added the AI component to the slides itself, so you can even create some questions or ask the AHA slide to create questions based on the topic that you are having. So our session will focus more about empowering rather than engaging. Yes, we need them to be engaged, but by the end, we need them to be empowered, and we need them to take the lead or the ownership of the learning and teaching, not waiting for us to. I think this is not available anymore to spoon feeding or being just prompter for our students. So we have 22 who joined us. I hope the rest can join also. The link is here, ahaslide.com, SI9P4. or the QR code. I'll keep it also during the session so anyone can join us. Just can scan it and enter to our AHA slide. I'll be focusing, as I said, in the concept of equity, diversity, and inclusion and why it is important in education. We'll talk a little bit about the strategies to engage diverse learner effectively, tools and practices to empower all educators. I'll be a little bit talking about the AI and how AI also impacted our empowerment and engaging for our students. And I think it's important these days to utilize this tool and benefit from it as much as we can. And maybe we'll end up talking about the shared understanding of challenges and solution in inclusive education. So just to know you more, again, because of that, I asked to join the AHA slide colleagues. To know you more, if you can just let me something about you. If you are a class teacher, principal, HOD, university instructor, special educators, or other. Maybe will give a chance to our colleagues to join us in AHA slide. It's just easy. You need just to scan the QR code and or type ahaslide.com. So good, we have a good number of our class teachers, principals, instructor, university instructor, and what is others, maybe psychologists or parents or directors. So it's all a pleasure to have you all with me in this day. And it's a great to be part of this Invest in Our Community program. So what we mean by I'll not go detail through those two slides, inclusion and diversity. But when we are talking always about diversity, we are talking about the diverse group that we are having, the differences that we are living with. When God created us, He didn't create us. He didn't have our fingers are same. They are different in length. So we have different racial, different ethnicity, different social economic background, different genders, different ability, different opinion. So all these consider as a diversity part. Inclusion simply valuing those individual in the diverse group. So it's good again to have diversity. I'll give an example to make it more clear maybe. When you are trying to make a cake, then the component of the cake is the diverse group. So you have, I don't know, baking powder, you have sugar, you have dough, you have all these components which consider the diversity. When you mix them together and come up with the cake, this is the inclusion. This is mixing those group together to have an efficient and effective community. So valuing the diverse group, it means inclusion. At least we let them feel that they are belonging to this community that they are living with. So for you, what does diversity in education mean, and how have you experienced it in your teaching or learning journey? Any difficulties, any issues, any specific definition that you have in your mind for? Excuse me, can you just the one who is opening the mic, can you just please switch?
Hmm. Adil ada ya itu.
Can you switch off your mic, the one who is opening the mic? Yeah, thank you. So sorry for that. I think Ivy, she's not with me, so to control this. But Amal, please, can you just mute your mic, Amal? Thank you. Thank you again. Please try your best to switch off um, your mic. Yep, thank you for this feedback. Different learning abilities, students with different learning style, different educational background, students with different background and abilities. Thank you for highlighting all these things. It's not about only special education or special needs students. It's all the diversity is something more than special education. Catering to different needs of the students, great statement. Diversity is having to deal with all level and ability of different students, different abilities, different cultures. Again, great for mentioning this, different interests, different ability, different opinion, different educational background. Great. Diversity and in education means creating inclusive learning environment that respects individual differences among students, whether in terms of academic ability, cultural background, or learning. Great. In my teaching experience, I have applied various teaching strategies such as project-based learning and interactive learning to ensure that knowledge reach all students in a way that suit their needs. Additionally, I have benefited from diversity. Great. So there is an impact even on us from having a diverse group of learners. Different financial background. This is amazing one. Thank you for raising this. And sometimes, unfortunately, some of our teachers, I don't want to generalize, but this is a, a scenario that happened in reality with the parents that he came and complained to me that the teacher asked for, like this is previously, for all students to bring next day their iPads with them. So how you assume that all of them, they are having an iPads? How you assume that all of them, they are having one and two and three? So taking their financial background in consideration is an important about different abilities, as we mentioned. Diversity in education means making sure all students feel welcome. This is the beauty of inclusion. So when they are feeling that they are valued and welcomed, we shift from diversity to inclusion. So we put them together. So we make them like feeling that they are really part of our community. I implemented differential learning strategies, a great strategy to implement. But sometimes we need to put in our consideration um, differentiated instruction, which we will mention today. I agree with you 100%. Universal design for learning, great tools. But those are tools that engage our students more. We need more than engagement. We need an empowerment for our students to have an effective learning environment. The classroom has discussion and deal with problem and solving it different methods. Great. Diversity is the quality of inclusion, including students with a different social and ethnic background. Great. This is an amazing also when it comes to social and cultural and ethnic background. We have to put this in our consideration. Again, colleagues, feel free to join us on AHA slide. This is the QR code, and this is the link for joining us. Also, we can celebrate diversity through activities, discussion, and classroom. By celebrating the diversity, we are valuing our students. So here we are shifting from diverse group that we are having to inclusion or including all our students, regardless again of their socioeconomic status, financial status, ability, gender, background, all these areas that you mentioned, which is part of diversity. A learning environment that teaches empathy, respects, and critical thinking. One of the things I focus on my teaching is scaffolding. It's a great strategy to use. Um, Again, it will guarantee also the engagement of our students effectively. So what does diversity means in education? This is like what you, it's just a summary of what you mentioned there. Cultural language, ability, culture, language, ability, gender, socioeconomic status, ethical status, cultural background, financial background. All these aspects is under diversity, under the diverse group that we are having. And each of them should be valued based on that. I shouldn't, as an educator, put an assumption about something will impact my learners in a negative way. So we have to put in our mind always diversity, equity, inclusion. Our target is inclusion, which is valuing those students that we are having or those learners that we are having in our class, regardless if they are from K to 12 or in universities or in higher education streams. So we need to provide the equity and ensure that they are really included. What are the benefits from a diversity from your perspective? What are the benefits of diversity education or diverse group of educators or learners in my classroom? How this is impact the whole classroom? And again, colleagues, if you want to join us, we are having a good number of attendees. So if you have, I'm sure you have your mobile in your hand, just you can scan it or write the slide.com SI9P4. This is part of engagement, not empowerment, maybe. Diverse experiences, so learning from each other, make sure all needs are met and everyone is supported. Again, this is the purpose of that, the benefit, promote a positive learning climate. I'll be opening it again because there's few colleagues still typing. Students tutor each other, yes, engaging more students and fulfill their different needs. Promote tolerance. Yeah, this is a great. Critical thinking also. What do you think? It will impact their critical thinking positively or negatively. Meet needs of different students as per their. What is the impact on the students? Help students learn from different people, become better thinker. Yeah, great. So it will impact their critical thinking or their thinking style, and build a fairer world and make school and community stronger. I agree with you. Promote tolerance. Again, we mentioned this, applying equity among students with different levels. So students, they don't look in a different way for other groups that they are having. I don't like this word others because all of us are the same with a few challenges that we are having or few differences that we are having. And this is the beauty of differences. Imagine that we are all same. I think this will not be alleging. Enhancing cultural awareness, it's an important. Understanding the cultural differences by itself will lead to tolerance also. Introduced to different perspective. Again, learning a new perspective and being familiar with those perspective, it will uh, impact my thinking in a different way. As you said, also encouraging critical thinking, learn from different point of view, which will allow them to be global citizens, to understand the openness that we are having in the community. Healthy vibes in class with different levels and styles. Enrich the classroom with discussion, deals and shows the problem in different ways, and also to deal with it. So each culture, each group, each person having his own way of dealing with those issues. So our students and even ourselves, like if you have a diverse group in your school from teachers, we will learn from each other. Diverse group from the students, they will empower themselves by learning from each other. At Abu Dhabi University, we are having more than 110 nationality, which is really a great diverse group for our students to learn from each other and uh, to know each other more. As you mentioned, colleagues, it's all the same point that you mentioned in your answer. So it will give the students the beauty of being exposure to various cultural and social groups. Diverse classroom enhance critical thinking, and this is also something proved by research and creativity. Will provide the students with equitable education for all, foster a sense of belonging and respect. Imagine when they are feeling that they are valued and part of the community, I'm sure they will reflect, will reflect on their way of dealing with others. Research, a lot of research, just I put few of those research telling us about how much is beneficial to have a diverse group in education, and which we have. And I take it for a one of the features, the difference financial background, as one of our colleagues mentioned, or cultural background, or social background, or even the gender, male and female. So improve attitudes and values toward diversity. It is an important enhancing critical thinking skills. It will impact their academic achievements in a positive way, as also bear studies and research. Students with positive diversity experience show greater interest in improving the life of people in their community. It will also encourage them to do a lot of volunteering activities, or a lot of engaging with other people, not only in their class, even it will expand for other contexts. Increase openness, as I said before, understanding and ability to interact with diverse group effectively. The issue, we need to know how to deal with it to reach to this level. Support ethical and social responsibility behavior in a diverse world, aligning with also the ABA's strategic goals. So utilizing this beauty that we are having to have a positive impact in our students, I think it's important. What challenges have you faced in engaging diverse learners? So I'm trying to finish those slides at the beginning, as it is, I'm sure it's something you are familiar with, to go to the strategies and the tools that we can use. So what challenges you have faced in engaging diverse learners? Is it the different ability levels? Maybe, I don't know. Is it the cultural variation? Facilities at universities? Again, this is a valid point. Does the is it accessible for all learners? It's time consuming. We will talk about this, but if we use it in an effective way, I'm sure it will be good. Maybe embedding it with the curriculum lead to some time. But again, there is a perspective on that. Lack of time, resources, knowledge, strategy. Agree with you. Different motivation levels. I'll reopen it again because I'm seeing someone still typing. Understanding their cultural background, which is again an important for me as a teacher or as an educator. I need to understand my students from the first week of the academic year or the first week of the semester. Otherwise, I'll be facing a lot of issue. But I agree with the colleagues who mentioned that sometimes the issue with the not with the curriculum, or not with me as an educator. It's with the environment that I'm having. I mean the physical environment. Is there is a proper accessibility? If there is any proper resource? Is there is a proper guidance from the team? Is there is a policy for diversity, which I feel should be any school or any university should have their own diversity and inclusion policy, which we have at Abu Dhabi University. Language barrier, again, it's an issue. If there is he's unable to understand me, or also this is now manageable through those applications that we are having through AI or other platform, but it's an issue by the end. To meet all learners' need is not possible. It's possible, but we need to know the way. It's just the approach how we can do it, and the support that we need to have from our leaders in the education sector. I'll just remember, because this point is an important, colleagues, because it's a mindset again for me. Previously, if you remember, we had the mainstreaming philosophy. I'll be talking more on the special education from a special education perspective. We have the mainstreaming system, in which we just do a placement for students with disability in the typical school, and we don't provide the needed support for that students. And we start, as per literature, blaming the student, blaming the parents, blaming the principal, blaming the pedagogies. And after we shift to the inclusive education, which is more important, we don't blame any one of those. We blame the system. So if we look at the inclusive education and we provide all the resources, again, for the one who mentioned facilities and university, if I want to shift to inclusive education, I should have proper facilities for that. I should have proper policies. I should have proper resources. I shouldn't complain about the time related issues. I should have clear knowledge about it. I should have a common understanding. So you see, we are not blaming the students or the parents or the teacher. We are blaming the system who should be really supportive. Language, sometimes agree with you. A level of learning and IQ, the diversity that we are having, or level of ability and disability between our students, again, is an important. Students number and the level of the different learning styles. This is a beauty by itself. But again, how we deal with it, different abilities, different disabilities, maybe this is the meaning, the big gap in diversity. I need to utilize it. I know somehow we have, and I'm sure we have an audience from different countries. Again, each country, they have their limitation, their restriction, their resources. So, but I'm talking from a perspective that we need to empower all our students and engage them and let them feel that they are part of our community, regardless of their diverse character that they are having. Even if they are having a serious issue, I need to deal with that as a school. I'm saying as a system, as a whole community. I'm not pointing to the teacher or a specific person. It's a collaborative approach. It's a teaming approach. It's a system that we have to create. Otherwise, whatever I'm using, it will not be effective. I'll try my best to do this and that, but then by the end, there is no support from the higher leaders of my institution. Again, when we are talking about inclusive education, we said always that there is a recipe of success, you can call it. Inclusive education, it means all of my community should be included, regardless of their diverse character that they are having. So what is this success recipe or recipe of success? I need a leader who understands the importance of inclusion and equity and diversity. And I need a system that support this. I need the resources that can help me to achieve and reach. It shouldn't be like a highly what they call it, a highly expensive resources, but can be something I can manage with my class. I need a teacher who is able to deal with those different pedagogy approaches, with those different learning styles that we are having in our classes. Also, I need a support from the special educators or other therapists who are with me in my class. So in one of those great strategies, and I'm sure I will not go through all these things because I'm sure you are familiar with them. Universal design for learning. Again, it's one of the great tools. Multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression, which you are familiar with. And if there is a time, maybe we can give more some of the examples in the later on. A few of you mentioned the differentiated instruction. Again, it's a great tool to engage students, but how much this engagement will lead to empowerment? We need to engage them. Yeah, we need to differentiate our instruction, content, process, product, learning environment, need to be aligned with the group that I'm have group students that I'm having, and reflect them in a positive way. Cultural responsive teaching approach. I need to put in mind the cultural variation of my students. If I'm having a history class and I have a diverse group in my class, it's good to include those from different cultural background. Each of them, they have their own aspects, own history, own background related to cultural variation that they are having. So it's good to share this while we are engaging our students in such approach. This is a great approach that you can follow. Incorporate students' cultural background. Use diverse teaching methods, which is a great one. Encourage students' voice, and this is one of the issues sometimes that we face. And a lot of examples that we hear from our students who are taking postgraduate diploma in teaching or who are studying Master of Education, Education Leadership, facing some of those issues. By the way, it's good to share with you that recently College of Arts, Education and Social Sciences got the approval from Ministry of Higher Education at UAE to offer the PhD in education. So it's a great news for someone who finishes master and want to complete his PhD. Is more than welcome to join us at Abu Dhabi University. The comment that raised about the learning style. I'm a believer of diverse learning style. Each one of us, when God created us with a strength in an area how we can acquire the knowledge. I'm a visual learner. You are an auditory learner. You are a tactile learner. You are a mixed style learner. So I need to know as a teacher, and there's a lot of tools by colleagues, by the way, that you can download from the net to know what is the level or sorry, what's the learning style of your students. So making real world connection is an important one. As an example of that, one of our colleagues here at Abu Dhabi University, he took his students to the Dweer to show them what they are doing, because it's part of their work. By the end, if we don't share with them the real experience, which will stuck in their mind, trust me, it will be a useless experience for them. So we need to link the curriculum with the students' experience and also their cultural background, which will be stuck in their mind in the future. We need to foster those learning by doing experience and making as much as we can learning as an tactile one for them, so they will know it, and then it will impact their critical thinking, their skill in different area. So we need to foster a sense of belonging among our students. And this is a question for you. What is the best ways to foster a sense of belonging among our learners? Think that any way that we can use or any strategy, or maybe the one that we mentioned before, I think it's an important and effective one. UDL, differentiated instruction, background strategies or cultural strategies, I mean. So all these are effective ones to engage the students and to let them feel that they are part of our community. We promote common goals and and let them understand it, to know what is expected from them. Celebration, sport, out of class activities, great, can a lot of ideas. Those days that we are having, sometimes we call it international days. We can make it in a small scope in our class. Artwork about cultural events. This is a great idea. It can be used not necessarily in the art class, even in other classes, using different pedagogy approaches to enhance this. Use positive and encouraging behavior. Great. Um, Showcasing their sense, universal design for learning, as we mentioned. Activities, events, reinforce a sense of acceptance and embracing difference as a source of richness. Flipped classroom. Again, this is one of the great ideas to engage the students and to let them feel that they are part of our system. Participate in decision-making activities, again, build a class community, cultural day celebration within the class itself, promote shared knowledge, let them students be a teacher, give them that's fine. You are teaching them by that, you are preparing them for the future. Building strong relations, it's important. Yes, boundaries should be there, but it's good to have always a relation between the students and instructor. When I deal with my, I don't call them students, the postgraduate students, regardless postgraduate diploma or masters or PhD students, they are colleagues. We are friends. We are learning from each other. Involving them is important. If you want to let them feel that they are part of your community, let them take the part by involving them. Scaffold students' learning. Again, scaffolding is a great strategy. Collaborative learning, building this structure of teaming and collaboration. It's an important to work on. Recognizing each student's strength, change the place of the class. Like, yeah, why not? If my environment is allowing me, we can go to the green area and have part of the class there. There's no issue from that. I think even in the future, we will be having a lot of those open space classes with the direction that the progress that we are seeing in the education. Giving our students voice to be part. Let us hear their voice, strengthen their voice, and to be part of that. Actually, one of my colleagues, Dr. Rashad, and myself, and one of our students, Noor, we ran a study about the voice of students with disability in the decision making related to them. And the answers, unfortunately, was shocking, because what was really strange for us, which we don't we don't we look for something actually better, but this is the reality, that we always take the decision on their behalf, which is not right. We should give them the chance. And even our students, they have establishing rapport. It's an important change. Yeah, as you mentioned, changing the place. We mentioned this. Great. So those great answers, colleagues. Thank you for your answers and comment. We are still completing those strategies, building positive relationship, as you mentioned. It's the best approach to create and to involve the students having proper relation, the way of dealing with them. I'm sure you saw those videos, how a teacher welcoming the students from the early morning or from the beginning of the day. I remember one of the scenarios that I lived with when I sent my son to the school. The PE teacher was smiling to three students while they are entering to the school. Trust me, this smile made their day. So this is the positive atmosphere that we are looking for, the way of dealing with our students, welcoming them, give them the chance to have responsibilities and also to be part of the community. I believe this will impact them in a positive way. Ensure equal access to resources. Again, this is an important. Um, we have to provide our students with the needed resource based on their ability, based on their level, based on their even background, and based on their diverse group that they are from. Strength-based approach. This is a great approach that we can utilize. Focus on the strength. I know that there is a weaknesses, which I don't like to call it weaknesses. It's an areas of improvement, and each one of us having those areas of improvement that he need to work on it. But if we focus on the strength, trust me, this is will impact positively the students, and they will feel that they are part of the community by strengthening um, their ability. You recognize the individual strength. You encourage a growth of mindset and personalized learning. And an example of that, if I have a group work in my class, and I notice that Joseph is great on organizational skills. So give him the task of coordinating the activity between students. He's not good in writing. So why I have to punish him for something that he is having an issue or challenge or need to improve it? I will work on that with the colleagues in Academic Success Center and different, and with the Arabic teacher or English teacher. But he's having a good strength, which is his ability to organize or to coordinate or even to manage and to lead. In English class, if I'm having a students who great in fluent in speaking, and he can say full paragraph or answer a question fluently. And I need him to write it down. I know sometimes that the system is not allowing us, but we need to create a balance. Several years ago, one of our deans, he came to me, and they was having students with blindness, and he said we need to do an exam for him. How we can do that? His final exam. I told simply let someone record the answer for him. This is his exam paper. So this is what we need to do. We need to think out of the box to find a suitable way to accept our students and also look at their strength area. Flexible learning environment. It's important. We don't need this rigid approach of our classes. Just change the seatings. Trust me, it's part of the academic freedom for you as a teacher or educator. No chancellor or principal or supervisor will come to you and ask you why you arrange this class in this way. It's my responsibility. I need a relaxing environment for my students, which we push always for flexible learning environment, which will reflect positively on the students and their belonging to our environment. Let me just check if there is any comment. Sorry, I missed this maybe because, as I said, I don't have, maybe IB with not with me. We're just checking if there is any comment or any. Yeah, those are like students may perceive that they don't belong in the class setting, the classroom setting. Yeah, again, it's a way of how I deal with them. Is there a certificate? Yes, there is a certificate. Thank you. Regular, I'd say I will add on it regular and open conversation because it's an important to have it between our students. It's fine to have some minutes of the class talking about their needs, their abilities, their challenges, what's the issues that they face. Building a day to voice and choice. This is a great idea. Project-based training is one of the great pedagogy approaches or teaching strategies that we use. We need to celebrate diversity and encourage this, give them more opportunities to be included and to hear their voice. Making a good rapport with them. This is an important, and I feel this should be from the first week. Knowing your students well, being part of them, have a good relationship with them. I think this will impact the whole academic year. How do you harmonize diverse culture and background in the learning environment? By knowing them well and including part of their cultural culture and background areas on my classes. It's fine if I'm talking about specific topic. Knowing them well, it will let me to include them and know how to deal with the issues that they are facing instead of having them isolated from my team. Actually, it should be starting early years. Yeah, even from the KG and kindergarten to have this. It's a mindset by the end, Asil. If we change this mindset, I'm sure it will impact the students. But we as a educator also, we need to work on ourselves to engage this diverse group of students. Again, it's not only the cultural variation and the background, different aspect of the diverse that I'm having, I have to put in my consideration. The key is the relationship with students that will let them agree with you. You send me back to the Asma, to the operational, classical conditioning. If they have a good relationship with you and they love you, trust me, they will do everything, even if your class is a difficult class. ربط الحياة, as we said, make it more practical. Thank you, Marwa. لازم نربطها بالحياة اليومية حتى يكون لها أثر. We always said, when we teach, we focus on three main areas of teaching. The first one is what to teach, which is the curriculum that we are having, المنهاج اللي موجود عندنا مروة. How to teach اللي هي pedagogy approaches that we use, طرق التدريس المتنوعة. بس the main important part for me, and I think for any educator, is why to teach. And I agree with you, Marwa. If we don't connect this with what he's doing, yes, what, how, and why. And why is the most important one, Asma. Because if I'm teaching something, even if I'm using the best pedagogy approach, without functionality, it will not work. It will enter from one ear and will go from the other ear. So we need it to be more functional and effective. So our students can really be part of it and be with us. If we connect this to their daily life activities, make it more practical. I remember, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the Edgar Dill hierarchy. He mentioned, we call it in Arabic, مخروط الخبرة. He mentioned that the best experience that the students get is the one that they can do and experience by themselves. So this is what we need. Uh, um, Sarah, thank you for saying that if we connect and we respect our students, they will respect us. And we need to show them that we care about them, and even the most difficult class will work. Agree with you, Sarah. Thank you for this. Yes, Ivy, we can open it like before the end of the. You can open it. So if anyone raise his hand, can join us. But I'll try to finish those slides just quickly. Again, alternative assessment is an important. I need to be. If I know my level of students, I will be supporting them in the assessment. I'll give you a simple example. If I have in my class a students with autism, and I know that they are visual learner, I'll be adding some visual strategy to support his way of understanding the assessment tool. It's not necessary to have it through paper exam. Maybe I can use project-based exam. Maybe I can I can use presentation, assignments, not necessary to have the paper exam. Flexible deadlines and support structure. This is again an important. We are human by the end. I know sometimes we give a deadline. It should be submitted at 11:59 p.m. Sometimes we have some personal issues. We have some family issues that we faced. We should be flexible and giving an additional time for our students. We need to listen to them, hear their voice. We change also the mindset. Accessibility is an important. Colleagues who mentioned we are having some issues even in higher education. I think it's important to ask and check. And there is a lot of institutions now, they can evaluate the accessibility level of the institution. And by the way, I believe in UAE here, the good thing that all buildings are aligned with the regulation of municipalities, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Al Ain. So they guarantee the accessibility part. And nowadays, if you are using the learning management system, majority of them are with the accessibility option. Monitoring is an important. Let me know if you are hearing the voice of this video. It's a short video. We'll learn it. It's about empowerment.
We often talk about what it means to move from compliance to engagement. It's the idea of creating an environment where students want to learn rather than have to learn. But if we want students to be creative, self-directed learners, we need to move beyond student engagement and into empowerment. But this requires some paradigm shifts. That's right, we are going to be talking shift. Here's what I mean. The empowered classroom is a shift from giving choices to inspiring possibilities. It's a shift from making the subject interesting into tapping into the student interest. When you go from saying you must learn this to asking, what do you want to learn? It's a shift from taking assessments to assessing your own learning. An iterative process full of mistakes that ultimately lead to success. It's a shift from the teacher asking all the questions to the students asking their own questions, where they chase the inquiry process and take learning off-road. It's a shift from uncritical consuming to critical consuming and creating. Here, students move from critical consuming to inspiration to creativity, where they use the design process to launch their work to the world. It's a shift from differentiating instruction to personalizing learning, and it's a shift from rigid to adjustable systems so that students own the process. They can set their own pace, choose their own formats, and decide what resources they want to use to accomplish their goals. It's a shift in mindset from compliance to self-direction. In other words, it's a shift towards student ownership. And when that happens, our students become the creative critical thinkers who change the world.
So who should have the ownership? I believe all of you agree that they should have, students, they should have the ownership. And what we mean by when we say what you want to learn, all what we mentioned previously, to have them part of our community. This is a study done, I think recently, about teacher workload and how much they spend time in interacting with the students. So imagine that if you are teaching 50 hours per week, so you are having around 11 hours preparation, 7 hours evaluation and feedback, 3 hours professional development, which is again required from at least here in UAE from our teachers and principals, administration task, documentation and planning, 5 hours, students instruction and engagement around 17 hours, students behavior, social and emotional skills development 4 hours, and social coaching and advisement 5 hours. With using other supporting tools like AI, it will help us to reduce this number and work more to engage and empower our students. Why I need to spend 10 hours or 11 hours in a preparation? Why I need to spend 5 hours in administrative work? Why I need to spend all this amount in something? It can be compensated with other ways. Now, an AI, ChatGPT or any other tools can help us actually to relocate or to benefit from 20 to 30% of time activity to support the students' learning. And we are seeing here how much is impacting us in a positive way. And by the way, we are happy at Abu Dhabi University to support, to run workshops for schools, for even for any institution, how to utilize the AI effectively, not only in teaching and learning, even in the administrative related tasks. Because trust me, it will reduce a lot of effort and it will help you to work with the students more and to engage them and empower them more. Those are takeaway from my session before going to your comment and question if there is any. Use project-based learning, as all of you mentioned. Design learning experience so that students see visible progress on a daily basis. Create clear but flexible learning objectives. We are, as I said, we are human. So ups and downs are there. So I need based on their ability. Give students the tools to design and build something. Again, let them be part of what you are doing. Design with iteration in mind. One skill builds on the task analysis and also preparing them for the final task. Design unit and lesson that cannot functioning without students' engagement. And before building the activity, I should think of students' engagement and empowerment. Give students flexible learning tools. Make learning both collaborative, as all of you mentioned, and playful. Make it fun as much as you can. Trust me, they will not forget those fun moments with you while you are teaching them. Today, just something. One of the students who took a course with one of our instructor in statistics. He mentioned you give me the course before 2.5 years, and I still remember the way that you teach us, the way that you taught us, the way that you deal with us in a class, the way that you engage us, the way that you let us, the way that you made us love math and understand it in a better way. Consider challenging based learning and place-based education where students solve problems important to them. Make it more, as colleagues mentioned, related to their daily activity. Gamification is an important tool that we can use to engage our students as much as we can. We'll end with this question before going to you back for any question or any comment. How can we support each other in creating inclusive classroom? We'll take just one minute for answering this, and then we will go to the chat or if there's any question. For help when needed, yes. Collaboration and participation among teachers. Yeah, it's good. I thank you for raising this. Always we missed this part. We have a great expertise in each teacher. Let's share best practices. Let's communicate with each other. Let's take. I'll open it because there's someone still writing. Let's have this beauty of discussing our challenges challenges that we are facing. We missed this part in the education, unfortunately. It's good at one of the morning or even after the classes to have a meeting to discuss what we face together and what we share ideas among ourselves. Great, thank you for this reflection or dialogical reflection is an important. Have a session just to discuss. Give me what is the best practices that you do. I face this issue, how we can work on it, how I can solve it. What is the best approach to deal with it? We complete each other. Like we are working. We are not working in a silo. We work together. Peer support is we have 5 or 6 teachers who teach math. Let's communicate with each other and try to solve the issues that we are facing. Sharing strategies and experience. It can be done by fostering open communication. Again, this is an important between the team, between us as a team. Share resources is an important. Students have saying in their let them. Yeah, why not? Let them have voice when it comes to dealing with them. Co-teaching is an important. Monitoring. So all these are, I think, an important aspect when it comes to dealing with empowering us as a teachers and educator, and it will impact our students. Those are some references that I put for you to go through. We'll provide you with the presentation later on. I'll open it for like questions if there's any question, and also you can, if there is, how can we attend the workshop? I think it's recorded, Ms. Nisreen, but I'll check with Ivy and get back to you. I think they will send the link later. Let me go through those. Create a calm and purposeful learning. This is a great, thank you for that. We will be, yeah, Ivy, thank you, Ivy. We'll be posting in our YouTube channel. Yes, Hasna, there is a certificate, and Ivy will guide you on this. Create ideas by presenter, great idea by presenter and participants. Thank you. Share experience and be. This is an important, and this is what I said. This is what we missed in education. We don't share our best practices with each other. So I think it's an important team working and collaboration. And I remember before, like the direction was toward multidisciplinary team in which each one of us working in silos. But now we are working on interdisciplinary team in which we complete each other. Yes, there is. sharing of ideas among teacher. Yeah, we can have it just morning meeting or evening meeting to discuss those ideas. Play-based again with the it's a great tool. Stimulation therapy. It's one of the best therapy that we use, which is based on the play-based learning approach. مس شريفة، وأهدافنا من هذه المهمة هي إنشاء فقط على صناعة منتجات خلال الزراعة إلى صناعة المأكولات خلال حتى نستطيع مشاركة التجارة خلال التوليد. حياكم الله أستاذة شريفة. Thank you so much for such an experience. You're more than welcome. Any question, colleagues? Feel free. I think you can open your mic and write Ivy.
I am opening it for them now, Doctor.
Anyone want to ask? You can just raise your hand and. Thank you, Ms. Ahada.
Doctor, do you want part 2 of your session?
I'm happy to do part 2, part 3, part 5. I'm available also to any support. في شهادة حضور يا آمنة ويا سناء إن شاء الله. Ivy, they're asking about the certificate of attendance. I think it will be available, right?
Yes,
Hello,
we will
good
send
morning.
the e-certificate, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. They will send the e-certificate for all attendees, please. Yep. Again, since there is no question or there is no comment, thank you for all your engagement, and thank you for that. It's really appreciated. I don't know if you have an issue, شريفة بالمايك. ممكن عشان الإنترنت احتمال. This is a great idea, music teacher. Any suggestion? I have included Arabic music instrumental to make relevant to them. Yeah, this is a great based on the culture. I'm not sure in which school you are working, but if it is like an international one or Arabic one, but it's good to include like all these tools and instruments, and let the other be familiar with it. So you are also including all diverse group in your music class. Great, Sarah. We have 2 hands up. Ghada, please unmute yourself and speak. Muhammad, تفضل Muhammad. Seems Ghada is still having an issue with her mic. Muhammad,
Okay,
go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm participating from Nigeria, and I think
you're welcome.
From Nigeria.
You are welcome.
Thank you. I said with collaboration and engagement with like here we have Parent Teachers Association. So I think with this we can be able to bring more ideas into the classroom, and then we impact our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. This is a great idea. Actually, it's a requirement here in Ministry of Education and EDIC and other educational institutions to have parent council, board of trustees council, or board of trustees, and also students council, which, as you said, enhance this collaboration between the whole group. And there is a representative always from each committee and another committee, which make it more effective and efficient. But it's a great idea, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for your listening and engaging, and it was an honor to be with you this evening. Wish you a great evening too. Looking forward to see you in the coming session, inshallah.
لا